Thank you, Burberry. Our next speaker is Alizabeth Alaniz. Elizabeth Alaniz is a 15-year-old ninth grader at YWLA. Elizabeth recently started a teen suicide prevention organization called The Ones Who Listen. Elizabeth also started a student advocacy group called Speak Up and Speak Out, both for YWLA students. She was the most recent winner of YWLA's Shark Tank. Elizabeth is not afraid to reach for the stars. After she completes her degree in political science, she would like to enter the political arena and eventually be President of the United States.
Today, I will address, using the four-way speech test, whether teenagers suffered the unintended consequences of COVID quarantine. Number one, is it the truth? Well, according to an NBC News article published in June of 2021, CDC reports say that there was a 22.3% spike in trips to the ER for potential suicides by children aged 12 to 17 in the summer of 2020 compared to 2019. You see, in 2019, at that time, having an extra break from school was like luxury, like no more homework, break time. But then once weeks turned into months, and then overall turned into a year of no social interaction. So the transition back to in-person school was extremely difficult because you went back not even knowing if you still had friends, if anybody even remembered you. And an example of this is my younger sister. She was in the 5th grade when this all started. Now she's in the 7th grade. She missed that whole 6th grade mark. Like the most important time is entering the middle school. And she didn't get to make friends, and she didn't really get to have the experiences of being in 6th grade. So is it the truth that teenagers suffered the unintended consequences of COVID quarantine? Yes, it is the truth. And I know that because I lived it. Number two, is it fair to all concerned? No, it's not fair. It's not fair for the teenager because being stuck in quarantine meant that you had no social life. You're not able to go out to the mall with your friends that you see still hanging out on social media. And it's because you just don't want to be forgotten. You want to be you still want to be connected to your friends even during that isolated time. But the parent, of course, of that teenager wants to just keep them safe. So they're just isolated and stuck in a room, in a house, not able to go anywhere unless they're wearing a whole hazmat suit. You see, but this is where the unintended consequences part comes in. Because the parent wants to protect the child, the teenager is just stuck inside with their mental health going down because they're not able to socialize with other kids their age, unless it's online, of course. But I saw on the news today that it obviously wasn't recent, but I saw that the predators are getting smart. They're starting to get the kids through the screen. And obviously during that time in COVID quarantine, it wasn't good for us. It wasn't good for teenagers at all. So is it fair to all concerned? No, it is not fair that the teenagers suffered through the COVID quarantine. Number three, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Well, me speaking out about this right now, yes, it will build goodwill because this is my first step in making a change and making it more aware that teenagers' mental health is extremely important. Sometimes people think that it's the physical health that's the most important thing, but no, sometimes it's the emotional and mental health that's important as well. You can't neglect one or the other because they're both important. And then the better friendships, sometimes experiences like that, you share with people. So that creates stronger bonds between one and another. And it's sort of having this conversation with a parent, it opens a dialogue to a mutual understanding. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Yes. Yes, it will. And number 4, the last question, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Yes, bringing up conversations like this into the light, bringing up the teenagers suffered the unintended consequences of COVID quarantine will be beneficial to all concerned. Once we stop treating it like a taboo subject, yeah, we're back in school. Probably some of us. I don't even know if other states are left. Are still stuck in school. But I know we're back in school, and talking about it will create a mutual understanding between both parties. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, future Madam President. The next speaker is Eve Mead.